So the Guardians got rained out yesterday, and now they're playing a doubleheader against Arizona. Ben Lively on the mound for the first game. Cookie Carrasco on the mound for the second game. The Guardians do have tomorrow off before they take on Minnesota in a 4-game series in Minnesota. But Jason, with Lively and Carrasco on the mound, after the bullpen got hit pretty hard on Monday, and a series with Minnesota coming up this weekend, a crucial series because the standings are getting closer and closer now.
Yeah.
How important is it for the Guardians to get some depth from their starting pitchers so they don't have to run through their bullpen prior to this upcoming series with Minnesota?
Well, certainly in Game 1, I think you're putting a lot on Ben Lively today because you're probably not going to get – I don't know how you can expect to get 5-6 out of Cookie in Game 2, so it really puts more pressure on Game 1. And Lively's delivered at every turn. You know, we talked about his last start against Baltimore and how impressive he was. So you got to have full faith in him at this point to do it. What I'm more interested in is Friday. I know we'll talk about that, I'm sure, later in the week, but Alex Cobb now scheduled to make his debut.
Yep.
Yeah, on Friday in that series. So get a good look, a good first look at Alex Cobb and the trade acquisition, his first start. But, you know, hopefully the weather cooperates today. I haven't seen the forecast, but I didn't know a tornado was coming yesterday.
Right.
So hopefully
it looks clear according to my
clear
weather
enough
app. Yeah.
to get, because the last thing you want to do is mess around with a National League team and have a game to make up. And we're getting to the point in the season now where off days are hard to come by. So hopefully they get both of these in today and get 2 good starts. You're really counting on Ben Lively right now.
Yeah, you need a good Lively start.
But listen, he at this point ain't no like thinking it's a good story. They need all the innings they can get from him. He one of their best pitchers right now, so you got to depend on him as one of your best pitchers. So, and I'm looking at it like this: they got this doubleheader today, and then they got that series against Minnesota. They 3.5 behind. They slowly but surely, Minnesota's creeping and slow walking.
Yeah,
you got to win that series. I don't want to call it like I need to get 2 of these today. You can't call that out. You can't ask for just to get the win the doubleheader. But it'd be great if we could. Because you look up, Kansas City won't go away. Minnesota is chilling. And guess what? We got 3 against them coming up. And I believe it's at Minnesota, right?
it is at Minnesota. I think I messed up the standings
I don't like
graphic.
their
I think they have a 4-game lead.
Minnesota.
Yo,
I don't like it. I don't like it.
This sounds weird because they are on the losing streak. But Jason, maybe this is a question to you. To me, it's not like they've looked bad losing. It's kind of been like, you know, just some bad luck, bad situations that come out to it because we're hitting the ball well.
Yeah, real quick, Jason, I screwed up on that graphic. They have a 4-game lead. It's not 3.5. It's 4 games, not 3.5.
Okay.
But yes, back to the.
Okay, well, I feel better about the 4. I don't know why 3.
3.5 feels a lot different than 4. Yeah.
Just look at the lost column. That's the only thing that matters right now anyway. But, I mean, Earl, to your point, you lose an extra innings, like, okay, it's baseball. Like, it's going to happen. But, you know, if you look at the upcoming schedule, split today, get realistic.
You got to split today.
If you get a split out of this today, and if you take 2 or 3 from Minnesota, you have to feel pretty good about where you're at.
4 versus Mini, so they can split 2-2.
Oh, that's right.
So 4-game set
Well,
versus Mini.
yeah. If you take, you want to win the series and gain a game. You don't ever go in thinking you're going to sweep. I forgot it was a 4-game series. I mean, at worst case, you got to get out of there with a split.
But if you lose that series,
well, it's
now,
game on.
Now,
lose, yeah.
Now I got vomit in my mouth.
Yeah.
Just,
well, and you got Milwaukee coming up too. In Milwaukee, who's playing out of their minds right
Yeah.
now. Chicago's hit or miss. They look great on some days.
and
they
then
look
we
terrible
don't be
on
playing
others.
all that great against Chicago. I don't be liking that neither.
No. Well, that's the White Sox. These are the Cubs.
Oh, okay, these are the Cubs.
Which the White Sox won a game yesterday. They snapped the streak.
didn't Tyvis call that they were going to win? I thought Tyvis called that.
He did, yeah. Shout out to Tyvis, the baseball knower of all things. Home runs and White Sox wins. What up, Earl?
Totally off the record, but shout out to my homeboy 46 who was always watching the show. He said, "Tell G Bush that hoodie is hard."
Oh man, I
hoodie is tough.
appreciate that, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I got a little something, man. I got this old. You know what I'm saying? It's old. I had this a couple. You know, by the way, you ever find something in the back of your closet and be like, "Oh, what's this? Found this moneymaker from 06." I done had this hoodie for a minute.
So that's the old orange. That's before the orange was
Yeah,
oranger?
yeah. This is, and that means I couldn't wear it for a while neither. I just got fat up top, so I couldn't wear it. Just whole torso was crazy.
I got a question for you guys real quick on the Guardians. looking through some numbers, trying to figure out their best matchups. I still can't understand why Kyle Manzardo hasn't been called up. He had his 15th homer in AAA yesterday. Are we sure David Fry's still an everyday lineup guy? Because I was going through these splits, and Steve, will you take David Fry's stats full, and these will be his season stats? I'm going to read you his month-by-month splits since May, because the trend lately is not good. Those numbers, if you told us we were getting that from David Fry, we'd all do backflips.
Yeah.
In May, in the month of May, 62 at-bats, David Fry hit .383, 7 homers, 18 RBIs, and a 1.263 OPS, best in baseball.
So that was just in May.
In May. He was incredible in May.
7 home runs. He had
Arguably
2
the best
assists?
hitter in baseball in May. In June, he hit .246 and 63 at-bats, 246, no homers, 5 RBIs, a 669 OPS, literally cut in half. In July, Jason, he hit .217, no homers, 3 ribbies, a 527 OPS. And so far in August, and it's only been 7 days in August, small sample size, he's hitting .111. He did hit a homer with a 436 OPS. And I'm just not quite sure that he's an everyday lineup guy. Against righties, Jason, he's hitting one of the below league average now against righties, despite that red hot start.
I'm just
So
saying.
I'm not quite sure what you do with him. He still needs to play. He crushes lefties still, but I'm just not sure if he's an everyday guy in the lineup.
Well, I think you have that question about a lot of their guys right now. And the Manzardo thing, it felt like they didn't want to call him up the first time.
Yeah.
They were almost forced into it by injuries. And again, I think it comes down to they clearly didn't want to play him at first base. They deferred to Naylor on that. But I'm kind of with you. Like, I mean, we're at the point now, if he has any chance of helping you in the postseason, you got to know now.
Yeah.
You got to get another look at him. You know, we saw Jackson Holiday. We mentioned that yesterday. Holiday was awful. Baltimore recalled him. He's looked much better the second time around. You know, hopefully Manzardo would have the same sort of success the second time around. Certainly against righties, you should be able to find a spot for him to play him at first base /DH. And
That David Fry role.
you have to commit well, but you're not going to play him.
I know he can't play outfield.
He's not as versatile as Fry. He's only going to play first base. You're not. There was talk earlier about putting Manzardo on the outfield. I think that's nuts, and obviously he's not going to catch. But if you can commit to playing him a couple days a week at first base, that would certainly help him, I think. They're just in that sort of wonky period right now with Naylor and Manzardo and trying to find a bats for both.
It's like when Fry made the All-Star team, it was going to be difficult to start platooning him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Not that they pay attention to that, but
He just hasn't been playing well, though.
he just I granted he hasn't. My problem with the Guardians is that when I look at them, I don't know where I'm getting my production from. Besides the 3, like they've been doing a good job of one day it's this guy, another day it's this guy, another day it's this guy. But I don't know if that works in the postseason. Like I don't know if you can platoon guys in the postseason where it's like they're not getting consistent at bats with playoff pitching, because then you'll have 3 or 4 guys going into the tank if you trying to find spots.
Well, if you platoon guys in the regular season, yeah, you platoon them in the post. If you have a straight platoon of you have 2 right fielders, this guy hits righties, this guy hits lefties, then yes, you would carry that into the postseason. But to me, it just feels like the Guardians are still trying to mix and match at a number of positions as to what's their best lineup.
And it's crazy that they've had as much success as they are, whereas deep into the season as we are. And I feel like the Guardians have like 5 spots locked up and the rest are completely in flux, whether who's playing center field, shortstop, right field. Like it's for a team that's as good as they've been
right
from a record standpoint, as close as we are to the end of the regular season, you would assume they have some of these answers down, and maybe it's a good thing they don't because it gives them that flexibility. But it's just a weird situation to be in, that there are still so many question marks on a night-in, night-out basis with this team in terms of what are you getting from your starter and who's playing 3 key positions in the lineup on any given night.
I think they got to be in the top 5 at different starting lineups in the league. They have to be.
Do you know how to look that up, Jason?
Yeah, not in 30 seconds, but I can look that
But
up
they
tomorrow.
probably started. They got a variety. Like you said, there's only 3 positions that really stay static. Like
There's a lot of teams now, like back, in the 90s, you had your lineup, and that was who you ran out there every day. There's a lot of teams now that change lineups that are matchup based, depending on righty lefty. So I tend to agree they're probably among the league leaders in lineup fluctuation, but I think there's a lot of teams that mix it up now, more so than ever before.
Prediction for today's doubleheader: Lively versus I can't never pronounce that guy's name.
I didn't see who Arizona's throwing.
It's Brandon Pfaadt. I can never pronounce his name.
Yeah.
Brandon Pat. How do you pronounce that, Jason?
Fought.
He pitched great in the World Series last year.
Yeah.
Like, he was one of their better guys. And then the second game, it's Eduardo Rodriguez against
Coming off the DL.
against Cookie Carrasco. So what's the prediction for these two games for the guards?
I'll stick with the split. Give me a split.
Yeah.
I think they win game one and probably struggle in game two.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna take the split.
I'll go optimistic. It's
Take
a
a
new
sweep.
new day in Cleveland. Sun shines out, beautiful day. We survived the storm for the most part. Hopefully no one died. I didn't mean to say that in jest, but like we got past it. Give me Ben Lively for 7 innings, 5 strikeouts, 1 run, and you ready for this? Cookie's going 4.5.
You can't go half.
4 1/3. He's going 4 1/3 strong, baby.
Bro,
Give me Jose Ramirez, 2 base hits. Give me Jose.
Are you betting these?
2 RBIs. That'll be my FanDuel parlay, 4-leg parlay. Yeah, I'm gonna do 2 hits, 2 RBIs
In both games?
and I'm gonna go Lively over on the strikeouts.
Thoughts, real quick? We got a minute. Thoughts on that parlay?
2 hits is rough.
I don't
in
mind
parlays.
it. What's his strikeout line?
I gotta look it up. But whatever.
And
it is,
whatever it is,
Whatever it
you're
is,
taking
take the
over.
over. Hammer the over.
Yeah,
9.5. Take the over.
He doesn't strike out a lot of
No,
guys, so I can't imagine it'd be more than like 4.5.
It's probably like
5.5.
4.5.
4.5, 5.5.
Yeah.
Arizona doesn't swing and miss a ton, but Earl, I'm riding with you. I'll put $10 on.
I deleted
On
my
FanDuel.
I deleted my FanDuel until football season.
Hey, 30 seconds. I got a real cool overtime topic that I didn't share.
Shoot.
So, if everybody on this panel had a sandwich, a Cleveland sandwich named after them, what would it be and what would be on it?
Well, you'll